Welcome back to ZBH4K, and this is Total War Pharaoh blog update. This dropped like yesterday, I believe. So I finally got around to it. It's not really that I didn't want to do it. It's just that I don't feel like there's much interest with Total War Pharaoh. Hopefully, the next big update will change that, and they're changing a lot of things. We're going to first talk about the battle part, then we're going to talk about the campaign part. Okay, so let's begin. When we embark on an epic recreation of historical period, therefore introducing new features in called lethality. This new statistic gives a percentage chance to kill an enemy entity in one successful hit. It works for both melee and range and will be factored into all successful hits. However, the lethal bow chance will be reduced against higher armor values that are naturally have a much greater degree of protection than this lesser armored counterparts. Basically, if you have high armor, you have a higher chance of resisting and getting one-shotted. It's sort of like how XCOM, the UFO defensive version, higher armor basically means better protection of getting one-shotted by nonsense. That seems like a solid addition. It adds a little bit of threat to combat, whether you can just start taking damage. You instead get, if you get hit, there's a good chance you could fail. I could add a little bit of spice to combat. As I said, a little bit of spice, not a lot. Further defensive strength and weapons and units. For example, clothing now have a high hit chance and damage but low lethal. Okay, while axes can high damage and lethal but low hit chance. In addition, this also helps a balance units with low entry counts, such as archer chariots, who are lethal when shooting from distance. Despite a low number of missiles they shoot. We're excited to hear about lethal impacts and battle experiences. You can't wait to. Okay, so it basically adds a little bit more of a strategic part to the battles, because you want to try and get more lethal units in there. But at the same time, if you run across heavily armored foes, that lethal ability is not going to be all that effective compared to a high damage output. So there's a little bit more forethought. So you're going to have to do a much more creative and spread out army. I like that. Yeah, that could work. Realistic missile trajectories. They're also blocking line of sight for more lethal direct shot, but players in places that launchers more elevated terrain, there will be a enemy directly and much more effective while being protected by infantry frontline. Okay. So there are things that weakens their ability to do damage, but if they're shooting down, they get more damage. That's pretty good. Advanced visibility. Visibility in general, visible units, force of buildings, walls, hills, unknown blocks, to a greater degree, version of armies, meaning sites and their foes. This means there is a greater opportunity for abandoned bushes to be laid, such as with tight front. Okay, elevation can provide. I don't know how much of this is in Total War Warhammer 3, but I do see a great deal of potential. I feel like this is a very experimental time for Total War with Pharaoh here. Like, they're trying to see if it does well after this update. I can tell you it might bring in some new people, but I do feel like the time for this to be like a big success, I wouldn't say it's over, but its time in the limelight was when it first came out. They're trying to reinvigorate it now. Whether it's a success is kind of up to, well, us, the gaming community behind Total War. But if it's able to attract our attention, it could give a second big push to this game. Not as big as it would have had if it had all this stuff to begin with, and but it could help. This could help it. It's still too early to tell. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to play this on the channel. I can play an hour of this. Put it up on there, just if you guys want. To reflect the new territories and climate zones, we have made some changes and updates to the battle maps in general, as they have introduced some completely new ones. Okay. Battle maps have been updated. Larger battle spaces. Yeah, people have been requesting that for all their games. Yeah, we are also at the city of Babylon as a unique major settlement, which is okay. But the majority have been reworked for Pharaoh. They will all major feature a new multi-point victory system. The multi-point victory system. I don't know how to tell any of you this, but I do not endorse the multi. Like, okay, if you get into a position just to take out an enemy at like a high ground or something like that, or behind a river, so they're slower down, so they movements are slowed as they collide with your troops, that makes sense to me. Having one victory point in the center of town kind of makes sense too, because it's like the center of town. If you take that, it's pretty much over. Unless they have a bit of armor, then you can just take the center back, so which makes perfect sense. But having multiple ones, it remains to be seen if that's good. Because I remember Troy's multi thing, and it just didn't have the same. It didn't have the same interest as battles outside of the city. Non-siege battles were fun. Like, I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's not going to grab people as much as a siege battle where you just defend the walls, defend the gates. To me, Total War is suffering from a siege battle problem. The siege battles are not fun. Total War Warhammer's siege battles are terrible. They're some of the worst in the franchise. Not because they're just bad. It's because all these Okay. First up, all the units in the Total War Warhammer 3 roster have like a myriad of special abilities and cool things that it could do, but they're still denigrated to using towers and rams just to do basic just of attacking the walls. That's ridiculous. Like, for instance, ghost units, they should be able to pass through the walls, or spider units should be able to crawl on top of the walls and just fight that way. They gave a little bit of help with the monster units being able to destroy the walls outright without a ram or a tower, which is good. But they need more than just siege attacker. They need something else in there. I know I'm talking about, but it ties into this as well, because I see the tower right there. I just see a tower right there. And I was like, dude, Please put other things in there. New trooper engagement. Ladder system. Oh god. I'm interested in those. Siege battles are gonna be awful again. Just reading this. Just reading this. Additionally, the walls have been adapted to work with Pharaoh's ladder system. Lets me know that the siege system is not going to get better. Just not. The battle master cities, okay. War of trade. Viking Empire. Sorry, great. Let's retreat. Okay. Yeah, that's good. You got some nice new emblems. That's excellent, I suppose. Yeah. I don't want to make this video too long, so we'll end it here. Then we'll go over to the next update, which is a campaign, and I'll see you guys there. All right. Take care.